Shalom, everyone. Green Sabar is a program that was founded 22 years ago, which serves as a support network for young Jews from around the world who decide to make Aliyah and serve in a meaningful service in the IDF in Israel. And Avi and Yoav chose to come with Green Sabar in 2006 and lived on kibbutz En Harod. And they'll always be a part of our family. Both of them, and on behalf of the staff that's here today and myself, thank you for having us here today. So Yoav asked me to speak as a young Israeli. So being 29, thank you Yoav for calling me young. Thanks, that made my day. And thinking of what Jewishness in Israel means to me was really difficult to answer 7 years ago, but is becoming more and more difficult to answer today. Every year, the questions just become bigger and bigger and harder to answer. But 7 years ago, I went into conversation with teenage Israelis, and I found out that all of them were so involved with me, and so involved with I, and kind of lost all connection with the we, and the community, and the state of Israel. And so then I founded an organization called Tzemach. It's an NGO that brings university and high school students into conversation about Israeli society and solidarity and so forth, and Zionism, of course. And very, very quickly did I understand that to get out of that conversation of the me and of the I, they need something bigger to think of. And we really identified a need and a desire for them to be a part and to long to be a part of something that's bigger than themselves. However, we didn't know how to identify that. And then we started asking the questions, and then did we understand that the answer was identity. And when speaking of identity as an Israeli myself, I guess that I would describe myself as an Israeli, because that's where I grew up and that's where I live, and I speak the beautiful language of Hebrew. And as a Zionist, because that's what drives me to do everything that I do. And finally, the third element was Judaism. But I realized, and I was kind of shocked when I realized that I didn't know much about it. And it was rather embarrassing. But I realized at that point that in Israel, and all of you kind of mentioned it in some parts of what you said, being Jewish is either being religious or not being religious, because the alternatives here are really scarce, right? You can either be religious and then you have the opportunity to be Orthodox or ultra-Orthodox, or you can just not be religious. And in the lack of various types of Judaism that we could have here, and that we don't, because when you're in Israel, you need to define yourself. When everyone is Jewish around you, you don't feel the need to think what type of a Jew I am, because you're just a Jew. And when living abroad in small communities, you want to define yourself, and because if you want to keep some sort of a Jewish identity. So here in Israel, we are just either religious or we're not, with the lack of opportunities and alternatives for other types of Judaisms. And I feel that today, as you said, Israelis are longing to be part of something that's bigger than themselves and bigger than me and I. And I feel that if we look at Judaism in a more broader spectrum, as a Jewish peoplehood, our mutual history, our roots, our traditions, our culture, then we can be something that's much, much bigger than just individuals. And I think that could benefit us greatly on two aspects. One, in Israel, it could allow us to be in touch with people whom we find ourselves to be different from. If they're religious and we're not, or if they're not at all religious and we're a bit, traditional or something like that. So it can bring us together in Israel. And secondly, and that was something that was an ouch to me at the end of Aleph Bet Yoshua's statement, was that we have so much to learn from Jewry outside of Israel about Judaism. So I think it would be a great thing for us to look at Judaism far more than just a religion. Thank you.